Alright, so as we are all aware by now, the next tier 4 character is gonna be my boy Spider-Man Miles Morales, one of my favorite characters in this game. And honestly, I am super excited about the possibilities for this character, and hopefully everything I say in this video is gonna be 100% wrong and he becomes my next tier 4. But truthfully speaking, over the last 24 hours, I've been doing some deliberating with myself, and truthfully, I just don't see myself tier 4ing Miles Morales, even though I absolutely love him. And I know that's what the devs are going for. They're hoping that we make an emotional decision out of love instead of logic. But I'm looking at the requirements for World Boss Legend. I'm looking at the requirements for Alliance Battle. And truthfully speaking, I don't see myself needing Miles Morales unless he is a PvP powerhouse. And therein lies the problem, because right now I think we're oversaturated. Even though we have so few tier 4s, I think we're oversaturated in terms of like PvE tier 4 characters. So if Miles Morales, you know, based on the trend, like every single version of him has always been a PvE character, even though he has a passive right here that could make him a PvP powerhouse, will they tap into it? I doubt it, because truthfully speaking, the devs have been very lazy lately, and the only character they've actually gone a little bit creative with is Thanos in his farmer uniform, where they turned him into more of a PvE character, whereas he's always been a PvP character in all of his previous uniforms. However, I don't expect them to get creative with Miles Morales. I honestly expect to see more of the same, which is going to be quite disappointing for me, because that's part of the reason why I stopped tier 4ing every character. When they were releasing 2 tier 4s a month, I was picking up 2 tier 4s every month, and I was, you know, I'm bored with going for 3 tier 4s every month if there was a need for them. But truthfully speaking, I'm finding myself using these tier 4s less and less. Like, I can't remember the last time I used Ant-Man. I was talking about this on stream a couple days ago. I tier 4'd the character because he's very strong, but he's strong in correlation to the fact that not a lot of characters can get to tier 4. So obviously, him being one of the first, he's gonna be vastly superior to the other characters. Same goes for Blue Dragon. I can't remember the last time I used her in content that wasn't autoplay. I use her for Alliance Conquest, and pretty much besides that, her and Ant-Man only see any kind of play in World Boss Invasion. Like, imagine tier 4ing a character and the primary place you use them is, it's called Multiverse Invasion. Now this is pretty much where I think she gets used. No, she don't even get used here because she's not even one of my favorites. That's actually crazy. So yeah, I'm thinking about it, and I'm looking at the tags on Spider-Man Miles Morales, and I don't see a need for him at a super high level. So he might be one of those characters like Gamora that end up really strong, and I keep them at level 80 and I have fun with them, but I don't tier 4 them. And I'm gonna ask you guys, will you tier 4 Spider-Man Miles Morales if there is not a immediate need for the character? Like, for example, a lot of you guys probably should be saving your materials to tier 4 Adam Warlock because he's such a powerhouse for timeline battle and you want to be competitive there.
Whether you like him or don't like him, there's nothing you can do about him because he's #1.
However, you don't need him at tier 4 because even at level 70, he's a powerhouse. But for me, one of the driving forces behind who I tier 4 these days is whether or not they're going to be a big part of the meta, whether it's ABL, ABX, timeline battle, or World Boss Legend. And for most of you guys, World Boss Legend doesn't matter, but for me, I generally look at the restrictions and then I basically decide if I need that tier 4. So when it comes to Spider-Man Miles Morales, he has the agility tag and he's a speed superhero, assuming they keep him the same. So you would be using him as high as stage 49, I believe, against Null, because after that, he pretty much just gets locked out. 99 is speed superhero female human, so obviously you can't use him here. And you already have multiple other characters that can do that. And even if you were gonna use him for that, you wouldn't need him at tier 4 for that, because he can already do that at level 70 with his current uniform. Hopping over here to Mephisto, it's kind of the same deal. the highest you'd be able to go with this guy, I believe, is stage 54, because as you can see right here, the other restrictions after that lock him out. So again, if they decide to just basically make him a little bit stronger in PvE, that's really not going to be enough incentive for me, and it shouldn't be enough incentive for most of you guys to actually tier 4 the character. Because look at this, right now I can go all the way up to stage 89 against Ultron without needing Miles Morales, and more than likely this is gonna be Crescent. Moving on to Gore, as you can see over here, realistically you don't need Miles Morales after stage 44, and on stage 44 you can already use the likes of Gamora, Shadow Shell, and Black Widow. So again, I'm just trying to figure out what they're gonna do to make it so that people want to tier 4 Miles Morales, because when it comes to the speed category, the females are vastly superior for ABX, and if you take a look right here in World Boss Legend, there's nothing super high up that you need him for. I guess this right here you might need him for, because yeah, you need a speed superhero human. I don't think Black Widow is gonna be strong enough to do this, so this might be the only thing that you need Miles Morales for. But truthfully speaking, most people don't like playing Jean Grey because she's so annoying, and they're more than likely not going to be here for quite some time. You'll be able to use him here, and then maybe you can use either Iron Man, Professor X, or Adam Warlock, and then for fast movement you'll be able to use Black Bolt, which is really good. So more than likely he's going to be able to pull this off, because he's going to have Proxima Midnight as a support for him there, because she also has fast movement. But truthfully speaking, I am not seeing the value for PvE content when it comes to Spider-Man Miles Morales. Again, this is just my personal analysis based on how I like to go about playing the game and how I like to spend my resources, because they are very stingy with tier 4 materials. You see right now the check-in event that they have going on, how few they are willing to give after a year. Look at this. They give you 20 live seed, 30 carbonadium, and 30 soul of the Valtine as a check-in reward. This is absolutely insane, guys. So for them to be dropping not 1, not 2, but 3 tier 4s per month is actually mad, when a lot of the times these characters, there's no need for them. And this is why you gotta be more tactical with your resources, unless you're big whaling and you're just gonna tier 4 anyone regardless. Like even Star-Lord at this point might be a better tier 4 for me and my roster and how I like to play the game than Spider-Man Miles Morales, even though I obviously love Miles way more than Star-Lord. But Star-Lord is ABL meta now. He's a little bit better than Thor because he has 2 supports in Rocket and Groot available to him, whereas Thor only has Beta Ray Bill as a lead, and that's it. But truthfully speaking, I might skip over Miles Morales. I just wanted to give you guys the heads up ahead of time, because I know y'all go ask me, yo Beast, are you gonna tier for your boy? It's probably a no, unless he's a PvP character, and he has the potential to do so because he has the same artifact as OG Spider-Man. I picked this up from the Black Friday bingo, sorry, not the Black Friday, the anniversary bingo, same deal, right? The second bingo that we got, I got a 5-star, and it's a decent roll too. So I'm like, yo, if they make him a PvP character with this in conjunction with this,
someone cooked here.
he might be a good counter to Adam Warlock and maybe Jean Grey. But will they go into the creative juices, the creative bag, and actually give us something that has some staying power? Because truthfully speaking, most people are gonna forget about Miles Morales if he's only a DPS for World Boss or Giant Boss Raid after a couple weeks. Like truthfully speaking, I don't see myself going back and tier 4ing Professor X, Sharon Rogers, Captain America, none of these guys, because there's no immediate need for them. They're not releasing new content that make it so that these characters are necessary, so I don't really see the need to go back after I've skipped over these tier 4s. I'm gonna just sit back and wait, and I'm gonna keep on skipping until I see something that I need, or maybe I'm willing to splash a little bit on because their kit looks fantastic and I can have fun with them for a little while, and because I have the funds to do so. But for most of you guys, you probably shouldn't do that. And in about maybe 2 years, they'll start giving out tier 4 selectors, and then I could come back and I'll tier 4 these characters for free. And I'm saying that's literally the plan here, because I'm not gonna buy into this whole them being super lazy and just doing 2 tier 3s per month, 3 tier 4 per month, 4 uniforms, and that's it. No content revamps, no new content, nothing. Just autopilot, easy money. Nah, like at first I was on board with a tier 4. Well, actually I wasn't, because I thought it was too early, because there's still so many characters that are not even at tier 3/transcendent status. But after a while I was like, okay, they're speeding up giving characters transcendence in tier 3. Okay, I could get behind this. I thought by now I would have more ways, more significant ways to farm these tier 4 materials. They're barely doing that. The new game mode Otherworld Arena that they dropped is absolutely a disaster, and they don't care to revamp it. It's been a month, but maybe in the patch notes coming up they'll do something fantastic to change my mind.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
But for now, Miles Morales, I love you, but you might just stay as a level 80 character for a couple years, truthfully speaking, unless they make you a banger for PvP.